This is ManUP TV. Today, Tony G helps me weigh in. We're talking sports and all these issues. Joining us front and center, this fight referee. He's one of the best, the superstar, who thinks he's the best. We'll welcome my auto buddy, not auto body, talk fantasy, and your mail. It's time to man up. Welcome back to another edition of Man Up with Tony Grigelko. I'm Tom Bernard. Got a lot to talk about this week. One thing I love about being outside, the weather's not going to hold up forever like this, but it's beautiful today. But I did notice that from the reflection, I need a haircut, man.
I just went and got shaved up.
Like, I need a haircut, brother.
Just got shaved up.
Woo.
Nah, it's beautiful today. It's got to be about 75 out here. Not too many of these beautiful days left.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. What you got on your mind this week, man?
Well, I mean, I think as much as the weather's beautiful, I think we should start talking a little bit about this professional sports nowadays. They're kind of taking a backseat or a black eye right now.
It's hard to be a fan in some ways. I've been a fan for my whole life, but it's a little difficult right now if you're talking the NFL.
Yeah, it is. It is. You know, I think it's important to, I think it's important nowadays to not pass judgment, be the judge, jury, and executioner on some of this stuff.
Right.
Whether it was right or wrong. But I think the one thing people should focus more on also is the fact that in today's society, there's so many different outlets and so many different avenues for people to be able to educate themselves
Absolutely.
and rehab themselves. I think I'm not a big proponent on taking somebody's livelihood away, for some of the situations that happen.
I know what you're saying.
I think that they should be looking to rehab them and then evaluate what they should do from there.
Did you get socked by your dad? Because I did.
Yeah, I think I thought about how to approach this. I think punishment is there's punishment and there's abuse, and I think however you're brought up, whatever your environment is in, the environment you're brought up in, can contribute to the blurred line between what's punishment and what's abuse.
And that's what, for anybody thinks I was kidding around about that, I was not. I make it very clear on my show all the time. My father did punch me when I was a kid. I mean, he did.
Right.
And I didn't carry that forward. And again, I think you're right. The rehab part of it, it's not up to you or me to decide what's right and what's wrong. But rehabilitation for anything like that, I think, is the route to take.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I don't think you should take somebody's livelihood away. Again, I shouldn't. I'm not in a position to pass judgment.
No.
Or say if somebody should or shouldn't have their livelihood taken away. But I think as a parent, I think, and you were a parent, and I still are a parent.
You were a parent. My kids left me.
It's apparent that you were a parent.
I had 2 kids, they left me.
But I think we all get wrapped up and figure out how to gauge and appropriately discipline our child.
There's no doubt about that.
So, and I don't think that we should be able to tell somebody how to become a parent or how to do the right thing or the wrong thing as far as being a parent.
It's very cultural. Environment's a big part of it. The neighborhood's a big part of it. All of those things enter into it. But wrong is wrong, and that's why we have a court system. That's why we have a justice system.
I agree. I mean, I'm not saying what was right or wrong.
Right.
Because I don't. Again, but I think, in my personal opinion, would I discipline my son differently than how that was done? Absolutely.
This is what being a man is all about.
Right.
This happened to me, that happened to me, this happened to me when I was a kid. Man up and don't take it with you into the next generation.
I agree.
And that's not judging anybody.
100%.
It's just, again, that's what this whole show is about, manning up. It happened to me, so I can do it to you. No. It happened to me. Man up and don't carry it forward. That's all I'm saying.
100%. And I think that same sort of premise could run true with how to evaluate the situation. I think whether they did or didn't do something wrong, it should be evaluated and decided if there was something done wrong if there was something done wrong, then it should be how does these guys man up and evaluate how to approach this stuff differently in the future.
A lot of stuff going on Man Up today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk football, we're going to talk fights, we're going to talk it all today on Man Up. Hey, all of you, in just a few minutes we dive into our man mailbag. We call it Man Chat, so don't forget, something on your mind, get online, tweet us, whatever it takes, and send it to us. We'll read and answer your own question on this fine TV show. It's Man Chat, and man, we want to hear from you. We're just getting started ahead on Man Up. We're in the ring with a ref.
When you think walleye fishing, there's only one place that comes to mind: the walleye capital of the world, Lake of the Woods, Minnesota, and Borderview Lodge. When it comes to the walleye fishing experience, Borderview Lodge is second to none. Their friendly and professional staff is there to provide you with nothing but the best service and accommodations. Take an exclusive full-service guided walleye fishing trip and reel in the big one for a delicious walleye dinner. Visit our website at borderviewlodge.com or give us a call at 1-800-PRO-FISH to start your adventure today.
Okay, Michael, and the average person out there, I'm hurt, I'm scared, I don't know any attorneys. Why do I turn to you?
Well, since you're hurt and you're concerned about how your bills are going to get paid and what you're going to do for wage loss, it's the time you need help. So you want to get a lawyer or a law firm that's done this before, knows what they can do to help you. And that's the difference we make. I talk to people for free. We'll go through what your rights are and you'll know what can be done for you.
You can doubt, but you can hate, but I know, no matter what it takes, I'm coming home, tell the world I'm coming home, let the rain walk.
Hi, I'm Christian Ponder with the Minnesota Vikings. I know how important it is to fuel up so that I can be successful on and off the field. As a partner with the Taste of the NFL and the NFL's Play 60 programs, I am proud to encourage all of my fellow NFL players to do our part to make sure kids get the nutrition they need to learn and play at their best. Go to tasteofthenfl.com and NFL.com to find out how you can help. Welcome to the team.
Welcome back to Man Up, ladies and gentlemen. You know, Tony, we never talk about fighting or boxing or the fights at all. Why don't we ever have guests on that are involved?
I brought another one in, buddy.
There we go.
Brought another ringer in. We're lucky enough to have Mark Nelson here with us. He's a world-class referee. Did some judging too. Are you still active in judging also?
Yeah, occasionally I judge. I'm primarily a boxing referee, but my most recent assignment in Moscow, Russia, when I got there, they had a world title on the undercard, and since I was there and capable, they asked if I would score the undercard fight before the main event. So nice. I do both.
Double dipping. They pay
yeah.
They pay it too.
You get paid for both, exactly.
Nice. So tell Tom and I about kind of how you got into boxing and just what's been exposed to you through this vehicle.
Well, it's kind of a family story. My father was a boxer in the 50s, and after he boxed and decided he didn't want to pursue much of a pro career, he decided to get into the officiating. And then after I got out of high school, and followed him around a lot.
Danny was a hell of a fighter too, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, he was a good amateur. He had about six pro fights. He won them all, but then he thought, this isn't for me. You know, he had a family. He was raising a family, and so he got into officiating. And then after I got out of high school, I followed him around a lot. And then I just took an interest in his refereeing, and I started to attend conventions with him all over the world in the country, and I was just absorbing all this stuff. Right. And then I started to do the amateurs and the little kids, and then I eventually got into the pros and just excelled from there.
Well, one of the big reasons why I wanted to bring you on is because Tom and I are really big on the father-son aspects of life, and I just thought it was such a cool story for you to be able to tell that boxing has been a vehicle that's been able to take you all over the world. What are some of the big fights that you've worked?
Well, I've worked a lot of big fights all over the country, and some of the fighters, sometimes even the boxing fans don't know because they're in foreign countries, but some of the notable fighters, Diego Corrales, the late Diego Corrales. I worked the Glenn Johnson, Lucian Boutte up in Canada. Yeah. It was a Showtime event.
Where was that?
Montreal, Canada. This is it. And just most recently in Macau, China, I did an HBO fight. Guillermo Rigondeaux fought a kid from Thailand, Kokia Jim. The fight didn't last long. It lasted one round, but that's the nature of the sport.
You got to go to China.
Now, Mark, where did you grow up?
Maplewood, Minnesota.
Maplewood, Minnesota. Why is it that all referees, no matter where they grew up, boxers referees, whenever they talk, they always bob their head. Ever notice that? Every one of you guys. And I do it too, and I'm not a referee.
My dad told me, just listen and go to these seminars. He'd say, no, when we go in there, don't talk, just listen. So I just sit and do this. Probably where I got it from.
I do. When I talk, especially, my wife says I have 3 stages. I have my calm stage, the agitated stage is when I start bobbing my head, and then when I'm really upset, she says I do this cougar thing where I go.
And of course, no one can see you doing that on the air, but they can probably sense
On the radio, but they probably
on the radio.
sense it.
How come when I was fighting, it was when I watch you reffing, it's always yep, you're bobbing. When I was fighting, it was always nope, Tony, nope.
Well, close enough. Close enough, right?
Oh.
I tell you what, Mark, you guys make the sport a lot of fun. I grew up in the golden age of boxing, and the officiating, the announcing, the officiating, the boxes themselves, it was there are wonderful memories. It was a great time.
Yeah, it's not the same as it used to be. I mean, it is the same as it was, but it's everyone's under a microscope now. And, you know, I'm constantly going to seminars and conventions all over the world, just getting a group of our pool of referees, you know, other notable referees like Joe Cortez. He's been a big help for me. I'll go to Vegas, go to his house, and we're always trying to develop and learn. And as long as we're on the same page, you know, and referees, we're going to make mistakes. We're always going to we're only human. But you keep making the same mistakes over and over, well, then shame on you. But
how often have you been able to be assigned where you've been able to be on a show where both you and your dad have been on? That's something that's going to be pretty unique. And
the fight in Macau last May, we were both assigned to the same world title fight, and we've worked several times in Germany together, other HBO or Showtime events. But it's I don't know how many times. Together they have father-son tandem. We've done it several times.
That's cool. See, that's where it's special.
Ladies and gentlemen, he was known as the Battling Scandinavian.
That's right.
I knew it. I knew it.
And I always needed a nickname.
Mark Nelson, you're the best in the business, man. A great family tradition. We'll be back with more, including a little football up next on Man Up. A big part of Man Up is keeping you updated on the pro fight scene here in the upper Midwest. Tony G is all over, has been for years, and you can check out where the next big fight is being held and get in on the boxing game. Just click to Tony's website and his fan page on Facebook and Twitter. Find Seconds Out Promotions at sofights.com. And don't forget to man up. Next on Man Up, a superstar sighting. The Morris Man is here. Stay there.
Latte or Olay, cozy or cool, exactly the way you want it. Until boom, it's bedtime. Your mattress is a battleground of thwarted desire. Enter the Sleep Number bed, designed to let couples sleep together in individualized comfort. He's the softie. His Sleep Number setting is 35. You're the rock at 60. And snoring? Sleep Number's even got an adjustment for that. You can only find Sleep Number at a Sleep Number store. Right now, save $400 on our most popular mattress. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
The Aspire Beverages story is simple. We're just a couple of dads and coaches that got sick of watching people drink neon-colored junk in the name of sports.
So we created something better. Aspire all-natural sports drinks have all the good stuff. None of the artificial junk. Packed with electrolytes, vitamins and minerals, and pure awesomeness.
It's time to stop consuming empty calories in those old neon-colored sports drinks. Make the clear choice. Aspire natural sports drinks.
It starts your morning with the forecast, then watches your energy use all day. It can change your temperature from anywhere in the world, prevent you from heating and cooling an empty house, and still give you a comfortable welcome home. The iComfort Wi-Fi from Lennox.
The most advanced comfort control solution available anywhere is now available for your home.
So call Liberty Comfort Systems and make your home a smart home today.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
My dream is to become a mechanical engineer.
My dream is to be a ballerina.
My dream is to be a veterinarian.
I want to be a chef,
truck driver,
a teacher,
a shoe designer,
professional skateboarder.
But right now,
I'm just a kid.
Just a kid.
I'm just a kid.
I'm just a kid ready to be adopted.
Ready to be adopted.
I'm just a kid ready to be adopted. For the facts about adopting a child from foster care, contact the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption.
Welcome back to the patio at JD Hoyt's downtown Minneapolis.
God, it's lovely, and so's Tony G. Anyway, it's time to talk a little football, and a little earlier, a friend of ours stopped by, the superstar, Mike Morris. He knows all about football. What's he talking about today, man?
I think we're talking about the Atlanta Falcons game here.
Vikings, Atlanta.
Should be a good one.
The superstar on ManUP.
All right, thanks, guys. You know, being well coached is a big thing in the NFL. It's a significant thing in the NFL. When you have a disorganized practice, when you have a disorganized meeting or sessions day in, day out, it leads to some things that, quite frankly, shouldn't happen on the field on game day. When you have an organized staff the way we do right now, and I'm not saying Atlanta doesn't, but I mean, Mike Smith does a good job with those guys. With the addition of Mike Tice now with the offensive line, we're going to see a more focused, attention to detail kind of offensive line, which was needed greatly by the Atlanta Falcons last year. They've got their receivers are back. So they got Roddy White, they got Julio Jones, got Matty Ice throwing the ball to him, but you got to make sure that, that you know that it's because of the offensive line that allows them to throw the football like that. We have to have the big pass rush. We got to get around the edge on those guys to be able to put some heat on him, take him off his mark, and not allow him to throw in timing. Take the rhythm out of the routes, take the quarterback off his mark, put him under duress, and you got a winning plan.
Hey, Tom Bernard here. Don't forget to find the greatest entertainment stop of all time. It's the Tom Bernard Podcast, TomBernardShow.com. Do it, the man says. Hey, I love cars, and I kind of like our next guest since he has a car. I'll explain next. Okay, Michael, and the average person out there, I'm hurt, I'm scared, I don't know any attorneys. Why do I turn to you?
Well, since you're hurt and you're concerned about how your bills are going to get paid and what you're going to do for wage loss, it's the time you need help. So you want to get a lawyer or a law firm that's done this before, knows what they can do to help you. And that's the difference we make. I talk to people for free. We'll go through what your rights are and you'll know what can be done for you.
Let's hear it for Bud Light, the perfect beer for when you take over a town, make me the mayor, call it whatever USA. Then pack it to the brim with so much spontaneous, never thought I'd be doing this awesomeness that it's hard to believe we actually pulled it off, right? Body bowling, roller disco, Bud Light, tiny cars, tiny horses, big celebrities, Bud Light, dancing, karaoke, Bud Light, whatever that is. This guy, this girl, oh my, wow, look at that. Bud Light and Bud Light, then put it on the internet for everyone to see. And whatever else happened.
Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Find out more at upforwhatever.com.
You know, for years, true story, I've really been bugged by my thinning hair. I'm around pros and athletes and newsmakers all the time. These guys at the Hair Restoration Institute, they're the pros I turn to help me get my hair back.
Hair Restoration Institute really does want you to get more hair, get more life. And they make it easy too. They have 3 options. That alone was reassuring to me. And the options range from transplants to laser therapy to a non-surgical cosmetic procedure. I went with transplants and I couldn't be happier. The procedure was a piece of cake. It didn't hurt, I was in and out in a day, and best of all, my hair is growing in places where there was none. Listen, if you want to regrow your hair, your choice is simple. Call the team at the Hair Restoration Institute. You will see a new you. I'm proof.
And one other thing to remember, the Hair Restoration Institute is local. They're hometown. They care how you look. Heck, they help me keep my game on.
Ladies and gentlemen, a great pleasure, and I mean that sincerely, to be back together with Jim Paul, a long time friend. Jim Paul's Valley Buick GMC. Things are going well, man.
Things are great. It's been a good year. We got a lot of new product. Yeah, it's good to get back together. I haven't seen you for a while. And nice to meet you.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to say thank you for coming on as a sponsor, but I also wanted to say, tell me about this car you got here.
This one's a 2015 Yukon. The Yukons have had a real loyal owner base, but they've waited 9 years for a new product. So this one's long awaited and well worth the wait.
Where are you guys located then?
Well, you know, we're in Apple Valley and we're in Hastings. Buick GMC in both stores.
I see.
Magnificent. What have you been doing for like the last couple of months?
Just growing old. Just growing old.
It works for me. No, it's for people. Some people, you know, the listeners might know that Jim and I have been friends for a long time. But people get busy, he gets busy, I get busy, we don't see each other for a while. And he shows up today. We start telling stories back and forth.
And they were funny.
Oh my God, we had a great time. But I'm not going to show up ever again, so great seeing you.
Good to see you.
Oh no, wait a minute. I'm just getting some direction from the director. Apparently I'm going to be coming to see you at the dealership every week.
Yeah, I'll make no trip and you'll make the long trip.
That'll be great. So it's just like the old days, Tom. Do all the work, Tom, and I'll have all the fun. Glug, glug.
You haven't called me RuPaul yet today.
I was going to say, today from RuPaul's Valley Pontiac Oldsmobile.
Rub it in.
I used to do his spots on the KQ Morning Show. I would say RuPaul's Valley. It was Pontiac Oldsmobile, Pontiac Olds and GMC.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Now what I'm looking forward to most. I mean, it's very nice to see you again. But just looking back at all the great things, we only got to about 25 of them today. There can be many, many more.
I remember when you tell stories and you'd say Pontiac, an Oldsmobile Pontiac GMC, who will remain unnamed.
In
Apple Valley,
who will remain unnamed. I use in Apple Valley, somewhere. But no, it's great to see. It's going to be great to see every week. I'm forced to see every week, so I have to say that.
Yeah, we're back together. We got the band back together.
Reunited.
Back together, man. ValleyCarDealers.com. Jim Paul, my pal. This is not a fake handshake. I love
Thank you for being here, brother.
Not a simulated
It's true.
handshake. No,
we'll
my pleasure.
We will see you at your dealership every week during the Man Up season, right?
Every week.
Looking forward to it, my
Something
friend.
new every week.
Jim Paul's Valley Buick GMC or something like that. Before Man Up hits the finish line, big items to cover with Man Chat and fantasy football. Hang in there.
Latte or Olay, cozy or cool, exactly the way you want it. Until boom, it's bedtime. Your mattress is a battleground of thwarted desire. Enter the Sleep Number bed, designed to let couples sleep together in individualized comfort. He's the softie. His Sleep Number setting is 35. You're the rock at 60. And snoring? Sleep Number's even got an adjustment for that. You can only find Sleep Number at a Sleep Number store. Right now, save $400 on our most popular mattress. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
When you think walleye fishing, there's only one place that comes to mind. The walleye capital of the world, Lake of the Woods, Minnesota, and Borderview Lodge. When it comes to the walleye fishing experience, Borderview Lodge is second to none. Their friendly and professional staff is there to provide you with nothing but the best service and accommodations. Take an exclusive full-service guided walleye fishing trip and reel in the big one for a delicious walleye dinner. Visit our website at borderviewlodge.com or give us a call at 1-800-PRO-FISH to start your adventure today.
Fantasy football is now in focus. Here's Randy Warner with the Man Up Fantasy Blitz.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you two sleepers every week that you can plug into your fantasy lineup, whether you got an injury or a bye week. Let's get right into it. Number 1, Niles Paul, tight end for Washington. He has 18 receptions and 253 yards and a touchdown through 3 weeks. And with Jordan Reed out this week, he's a number 1 tight end / flex option in all leagues this week. Number 2, Donald Brown, running back, San Diego. With Ryan Matthews and Danny Woodhead out, he's the last man standing for the Chargers. And, oh, did I mention? He is going against one of the worst run defenses in the NFL in the Jacksonville Jags. Forget sleeper. I'm making him a must start. Get him in your fantasy lineups now. See you next week for more fantasy football chat. Or you can follow me at Fantasy Blitz 82.
The Man Up Fantasy Blitz is brought to you by uncloggeddrains.com. That's our name. It's what we do.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
up the latest issue of Wheels of Thunder magazine. If it's on wheels, you'll find it in Wheels of Thunder. Full color photos of bikes, trikes, cars, trucks, and even sleds. High performance or right off the street. Mind-blowing power, speed, and custom touches. It's all in Wheels of Thunder magazine. Plus, find out about the latest races, rallies, and custom products and services in your area. Check out Wheels of Thunder on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Wheels of Thunder.
Welcome back to Man Up, ladies and gentlemen. Tony G, what we got next, man?
Man Chat. This one's for you, Tom. Perry in Dinkytown. Tom, I'm one of your regular podcast listeners. How did you decide to build the podcast network, and how did you pick your team?
Well, Perry, actually it was the idea of my nephew, Sean Bernard, to put together the podcast network, the podcast team. He worked very, very hard on it, and he made a lot of really wise choices. A financial advisor, a lawyer, political analyst. He put together, it's very, I hate this word, but it's a diverse network. That's how we decided to go with it. All right, this one's for you, Tony. James in St. Paul. Tony, I'm a new fan of the show. I love the concept. Hey, I'm curious, why didn't you try to become a pro boxer? I listen to you on this show and a bit on Tom's podcast and wonder if you feel it's a missed opportunity.
Well, James, actually I was a professional fighter. I looked to, I turned pro after about 70, 80 fights. Was able to leverage that into a professional boxing career. I was 7-2 as a pro. You know, I didn't have the best elbow. I injured it early in the amateurs, and so I just wasn't able to fulfill the expectations of a lot of people in the pro ranks.
Hey, wait a second. What was your record?
5-2. These guys are busting me up all the time.
It was 5-2.
5-2.
5-2-1.
5-2-1.
Not 7-2.
Not 7-2.
More lies next week. No. Hey, we had it all today. We had fights. We had football. We had cars. What was your favorite part?
Boy, I sure like talking about football, but probably the best part was having Mark Nelson on. That was pretty neat.
Ladies and gentlemen, join us next week when the 2-5 Tony Grigelko. Oh, 5-2. I'm sorry. Yes, the 5-2 Tony Grigelko, Tom Bernard on Man Up.
These guys are awesome out here. They got one of the finest facilities I've ever seen. They give you the ability to target shoot. They give you the ability to trap shoot. They give you the ability to get on some live birds. So it's a pretty amazing experience. What do you think of that, Tom? Could you do better?